function is one of the most widely used and important functions in Excel, which expresses conditional sentences. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to get started, but the best way to learn the if function is to practice, and I'll teach you that here with various examples. The if function has three arguments or input parameters. Logical test is usually expressed as a conditional expression, such as E2 equals 6, C for negative, B2 smaller equal than 1. So this part is our condition. Value if true is the response of the function if the condition is true, and value if false is the answer of the function if the condition is false. Therefore, we conclude that the if function has two outputs. The first output if the condition is true, and the second output if the condition is false. Guys, the input and output of this function can be anything, such as number, text, date, and etc. Suppose in this table, in column A, the price range is specified, and in column B, its cheap or expensive status is specified. Our input is this cell that shows the number 4,200, and now according to the price table, we want to write a formula that determines the expensive or cheap state of the input data. First, we write equals. We enter if. Now we determine the condition and write if our input, for example E2, is greater than 5,000. We enter comma and enter B2. Otherwise, it means if this condition it was not true, we enter B3, close the parentheses and press enter. And now you will see it specifies its status, and now if we change the input data according to that, its status will also change. My friends, thanks for staying with me. This formula writing style is called linear style, and it's a professional formula writing style, and our approach in this training will be linear style. Now suppose we have two conditions in a function. In these cases, we use nested if states, that is, an if function inside another if function. In the previous example, suppose our input data is a negative number like minus 2,000. There is no need to remove the previous formula to modify its formula. It's enough to add a condition to it. As we said, each if function has three parts, so we cannot enter the new condition inside the parentheses. So the best place to enter the second condition is in this part, that is, before the first if. Now we create the condition. We enter if, open parentheses, we write if E2 is negative, for example, smaller is equal to 0. We enter a comma. Now we have to enter a declaration. For example, we write no. If it's not negative, it will execute the continuation of if. And after that, we close the parentheses. But now you see that it shows name error. Guys, pay attention. Excel recognizes numbers and signs, but it doesn't recognize any name. So to solve this problem and to enter any text in the formula, we must put double quotation marks before and after that text. And now you will see that the condition is fully implemented. My friends, in this course we have tried to give you examples from different fields so that your fear of Excel will disappear, and this is very important. Here we want to solve an example about the overtime ceiling together. Stay with me till the end. As you can see, we have a table here that shows us the overtime ceiling, overtime hours, taxes, and employees. See, for Alex, 55 hours is defined as the overtime limit. And for Jan, 110 hours of overtime is defined. So, for each person, there is a different overtime limit. Alex has 20 hours of overtime and Jan has 105 hours. The law of the company is such that for overtime hours, it considers a coefficient that is equal to 1.4. That is, it multiplies this number by 1.4. According to the ceiling defined for individuals, here for Alex, this ceiling has been met and a payment is made. But for Jan, the overtime hours are more than the allowed limit. Now we need to write a formula that when we copy it down for all the people that are going to be added here, Excel will do it automatically. So let's do it together. We write if cell D2 was smaller than the ceiling, that is cell B2, comma, cross cell D2 by E2 minus the tax, that is F2. Well, my friends, there is a point here. We shouldn't write minus 10% here. Here, we have to write multiplied by 90%. That is, 90% of this money is calculated for you, and 10% is its tax. Now we continue. Otherwise, B2 times E2 times 90%. And now we hit enter. Now if we copy this cell down, you will see that it will show correctly for the next one. Now let's solve this example with another method. Here, between the number 55 and 28, which number is our criterion? Yes, that's right, number 28. How about between 110 and 147? Here, the criterion is 110. Now I enter another number here. Here we write 86 and here we write 74. Which number do you think is the criterion for calculation? Yes, the number 74 is correct. So you see, our mind gets this pattern that between two numbers, the smaller number is chosen. My friends, look for patterns in the data. So, here we write the minimum of cells D2 and B2 multiplied by E2. And now we multiply by 90%. And press enter. Now you will see which shows us the correct answer. We can solve this example both with the if function and without if. The only thing is that you should think about the question and find the best solution. In this course, we have tried to go deeply into all the issues and solve the issues with different solutions.